and we'll fill for a minute, and then we'll do the show where Dirk and I are going to explain cards to Mike and Brian, and Mike and Brian are going to like it. I mean, this was their idea. I tried to talk them out of it, but they wouldn't let me. I was like, I mean, since you guys don't do Fallout, we could just not. And they were like, no, you could just explain to where stuff comes from. I was like, oh, great.
Okay. Don't say we didn't warn you.
Well, Jason, explain them to me as I've never played nor seen any Fallout. Fair enough. Yeah, we'll give a extremely quick and not at all accurate rundown of what Fallout is at the beginning, just because.
Not like a, play-by-play.
Right, yeah. I think we might have done that the last time we looked at the small handful of Fallout cards, but, we'll do it again. Why not? But alright, that's a minute, so here we go. Oh, jam! Is it right to say that for a Fallout episode?
Do they not have jam?
I mean, probably not. Where would you even make jam after the nuclear apocalypse?
Radioactive.
This jam is glowy.
I mean, they do have Nuka-Cola Quantum, yeah. Huh. Anyway, hello everyone, and welcome to the mana pool, or the stamina meter. No, there's no stamina in Fallout. What is there in Fallout? The weight.
Dirty's asking you.
The weight limit.
VATS. VATS.
Yeah, but you can't say welcome to the VATS. The action points. Welcome to the action points.
Oh, there you go.
Pool, I guess. I'm gonna stop that. I'm Chewy. This is episode 697. Jesus Christ. Of the Man Pool. We took a couple weeks off because I don't remember why. I think we weren't available, and then
Person was at the hospital emergency.
Oh yeah, and I was supposed to be at the ER with Renee, and no, that was at the ER that day, and then I wanted to not be in the middle of a show and have to stop. Mm-hmm. It was her post-accident checkup. Nothing bad. Before anyone's like, "Oh my God, no, we're good. Everything's fine." But yeah, we got her some muscle relaxers, and she has been doing much better. Like, went back to work. Almost immediately, actually. So, okay. Yeah. Apparently, the muscles in her back were just all seized up and couldn't function properly without causing her immense pain after the accident. Yeah. But anyway, I'm Chewy. I'm the lead dork. I've got these other dorks here. Dorks, who are you, and what is your Fallout experience?
Hey, I'm Brian. I'm the lead rambler, tangent master of the group, and I don't know. You might expect to hear a little less from me because my experience with Fallout is, I wouldn't say it's negative. It's just like as close to zero as you can get because I've never played them. And all I know is from a couple videos here and there and talking to these guys. So, on the other hand, if I am talking a lot, it's probably more likely to be a tangent. And I don't want to take away from Chewy and Dark telling us about kind of the history here. So, you might hear more silence from me.
Certainly not in the intro, though.
Nope. Because I've been going on for like a minute now. That's me.
And I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And my Fallout experience is Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4. I think that's about it in terms of my experience. But if you look at my Steam thing, I've got many hours under my belt for those games.
I'm Mike for Magic. I'm in the game lore guy, and my experience with Fallout is hearing other people talk about it, mostly Chewy, and like seeing memes and stuff on Facebook and Discord and elsewhere.
We did that out of order, right? Dirk just jumped right
Yeah,
in there, didn't
We
he?
did. We did.
Man,
I was
Dirk's
wondering
excited.
if anybody was going to acknowledge it.
So
So-
excited.
I have played Fallout 3 extensively, but I also have a YouTube problem, so I know a lot about Fallout New Vegas and 4. Like, way more than I should for someone who's never played either of them. So,
Yeah, the
yeah.
original Fallout and the sequel, I have never played those. But
Excuse me.
I'm aware of things from them, but I really have no background in them.
Yeah. All right, then. So let's get to it. Let's see here. We need to pull this up. Hey, look at that. It's Fallout stuff.
Fallout stuff. Oh, yeah.
So the card image gallery is just a ridiculous mess.
Yeah.
That's-
Like, look at, there are 4 copies of Eridesh the Founder here in the card image gallery, and I don't think there's a way that I can get at least one of every card just by changing the treatments, because it's a drop down menu in the new shiny card image gallery, so I can't click like default and showcase, because I think that'll get me everything. I think. I'm not entirely sure. So as much as I love some of the functionality of the new card image gallery, I also hate, like, if I could just not click not the foils, that would also help immensely. But no. So we just have a giant card image gallery, and you're going to see multiples of pretty much every card. I apologize. But it's not my fault, so I don't apologize. Ha! But all right then.
Yeah.
How do we didn't even talk about how we're going to do this. Oh, okay, wait a minute. There is a card I want to start with because I don't like it.
Okay.
And that is in red, the Mysterious Stranger. So, Mysterious Stranger is a perk that you can get for your character in, I think, all of the 3D Fallouts. And I think he was in at least one of the originals. But I'm not entirely sure. The perk is sometimes when you target an enemy in VATS. VATS is the thing where you can pause time and shoot at or target specific parts of enemies, and it'll show you a little percentage, and you use up action points. So you could like take 2 shots at the head and 2 shots at the chest, and hope to actually get in the damage that way. Or you can just free aim and shoot as if it was a regular, albeit slower than normal, first-person shooter.
Is VATS like a heads-up display or something?
Yeah. You press the VATS button and time freezes, and you can highlight any enemy that's visible, and
that you can that's visible. That's within range. You can shoot at.
yeah, and you can point at different body parts, and it'll show you percentages and how much damage that should do, that sort of thing.
Okay. That's cool.
So it allows you to be a little more tactical, sort of like the original games, which were not, action games. Or, like I said, you could just first-person shooter it and just aim and fire.
When I'm looking at one of these special treatments here, like there is one for this Mysterious Stranger, is that the VATS display? Where it's got...
No, that is your... that's just
like
your pause menu, your Pip Boy, the thing that's on his wrist.
Okay, all right, continue.
Okay, so the Mysterious Stranger perk is sometimes, there's some percentage chance of it, when you are targeting an enemy in VATS, the Mysterious Stranger will show up. You'll hear like a very distinctive like guitar riff, and the Mysterious Stranger will show up, and shoot dead whatever it is you're targeting.
Huh.
And then disappear again. Like, he only shows up in vats, and that's it. He shoots things and then he's gone. And so I figured that Mysterious Stranger would be like a removal spell with some sort of random element to it or something. And instead we got this card. So Mysterious Stranger for 2 red is a 3/2 human rogue with flash. That part's good.
Yep.
Because he just appears out of nowhere. And he says, when Mysterious Stranger enters the battlefield, for each graveyard with an instant or sorcery card in it, exile target instant or sorcery card from that graveyard. If 2 or more cards are exiled this way, choose one of them at random and copy it. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost.
Huh. So that's kind of an interesting card, but you don't think it's representative of what this should do?
Yeah, not at all. Because, like, if the Mysterious Stranger shows up, something's dying. That's what he does. He kills things.
What is
I
a
mean,
perk?
when you level up, at least in Fallout's, I think 3 and New Vegas, and I think 4 works the same way. When you level up, depending on what your special stats are, special is strength, perception. It's your
Dexterity,
stats.
agility, luck.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no dexterity because there's no D in special, but
No.
it's your character stats. They're just called special because that was cute.
Mm-hmm.
You get, based on your stats and what, you can pick a perk from the list of perks, and some
Are
of
the
them.
perks? Sorry, go ahead.
When you level up, a perk is your. Since you leveled up, pick something from this that you want to make you be able to do better. Like, do you want to carry more stuff? That's a perk. Do you want to make friends with animals? That's a perk.
Do you want enemies
generated
to explode when you kill them? That's a perk. What was that, Brian? Are they what?
Are they randomly generated? Like,
No.
No.
Okay, I kind of pictured a system where at a level up, depending on what your stats are, it may pull like 3 choices from a pool or whatever.
Oh, no.
And you pick one?
Some of them have prerequisites, like if you're...
You have to have like 6 in 1 and something or other.
Yeah, like if your small guns... Like if your small gun skill is high enough, you can get a perk that makes you better with small guns. Or something.
So if you know the system and you know the game, you can be kind of modding toward a perk.
Right.
Yeah,
like you can be like, okay, I'm going to be building.
But some of them are level locked too. Like you can only get this if you're level 8.
Gotcha.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. I hope I haven't been throwing us off. This is just kind of really interesting, and I didn't know how this worked. So
yeah.
Okay.
Now, Dirk, you played New Vegas. Also, Mike just resubbed for the 47th month and said special because Mike is adorable. Dirk, you played New Vegas. Do you remember Misfortune?
The name rings a bell, but I don't remember off the top of my head.
Misfortune was like the female equivalent of what's his name, the Mysterious Stranger. Okay, here we go. Taking this perk grants a 10% chance for Misfortune to appear when using that. Yeah, thanks. What does she do? Okay, unlike the Mysterious Stranger, Misfortune's attacks deal a low amount of direct damage to the target. Instead, she inflicts a variety of detrimental effects, dependent on certain factors, with every attack in her gun, and each one generates a fortune, in quotes, percentage for the target. So, like, knock them down for 10 seconds, or anything's in their inventory. Things in their inventory could detonate. Like, if they have grenades, they might detonate in their pocket. Or stuff like that. Like, stuff that's actually random that I think Mysterious Stranger, the card, is much more akin to Misfortune. Because Mysterious Stranger really should be a kill spell. I don't know this is nitpicking, but I was really looking forward to the Mysterious Stranger card, and this sucks. So, yeah. Like, the card is neat and all. If it didn't say Mysterious Stranger, I'd really like it. But it does, so it sucks.
And I mean, it can get a removal spell, maybe.
Yeah. The wording is also really weird. Like, I get that they had to do it that way to make it work the way they wanted it to, but for each graveyard with an instant or sorcery card in it, exile target instant or sorcery card from that graveyard. Couldn't they just say exile, like, ace instant or sorcery card from each graveyard? That seems like it would be less.
Yeah, that means, well, if you did it that way, then it wouldn't target, so no one would know what was going on really until the ability started resolving.
Oh.
And if you have if you have to target an instant or sorcery in each graveyard,
if there's one that doesn't, it might.
If there's one that didn't have one,
yeah, it might end up scrapping the whole card.
And this does mean that the ability, you can't cast if there's only one instant, if there's only one graveyard with at least an instant or sorcery in it, the exile still happens, but then you don't get to play. It's not like you can be like, okay, I've played a removal spell, now I'll play Mysterious Stranger, and I copy that spell if there's no instants or sorceries in the opponent's graveyards, correct?
Yeah.
So
right. Yeah, you can't just be like, oh, I discarded Blasphemous Act last turn. Let's go get now if that's the only thing around.
So blasphemous.
Which, hey, that's in this set.
It is. There's a couple reprints here that I was like, ooh. But, new cards are interesting. So, you like Mysterious Stranger, but it's not like...
It is not representative of the Mysterious Stranger from Fallout.
Okay.
In the slightest.
Oh, and I totally get that. Like, we think about, like, they knocked it out of the park with Lord of the Rings, and there were still maybe one or two cards where it felt like, okay, they're having to do this. They're having to push this theme or whatever.
Yeah. But,
like, remember when they made the Okagachi Commander card, and you and I were both like, what is this crap? Like, this is not... So I yeah. So I get this is cool, but it's not this.
Yeah. Oh, we forgot to do the quick rundown of what Fallout was at the beginning.
All right.
So Fallout is an alternate United States history where culture sort of stopped evolving around the 50s. Yep. So it's like 1950s America, but more modern technology and everything is nuclear, including the cars. And there was a massive war with China?
That occurred in Alaska.
Yeah, well, started in Alaska. Mm-hmm. And then the entire U.S. got nuked. And this is many years... Well, depending on which game you're playing, it's many years later. There was an evil corporation named Vault Tech that had a bunch of vaults where you could go to quote-unquote be safe, but each of those vaults was actually a bizarre social experiment for some reason, because Vault Tech is evil.
I see that there's the names of some of these vaults and some of the cards, and it's like Vault 75 Daycare or something.
Yeah.
Vault 100 Happy Birthday. So,
Vault 101.
Okay. Yeah, 101 is birthday party. 75 is middle school. God, think about being in middle school forever. Ugh.
So, yeah, the whole thing is weird, and each game follows a different protagonist in a different part of the country. I don't remember where Fallouts 1 and 2 happened, I'm sorry to say, but Fallout 3 is DC, Fallout 4 is Boston, Fallout New Vegas, I'm sure you can figure that one out.
Yeah. Wait. I'll get it eventually. Keep going.
Fallout 76 is West Virginia.
Latin.
Do what?
Like Kentucky.
That too.
Virginia and Kentucky are not the same place.
Yeah, it's
Appalachia
definitely
and Kentucky are the same place. It happens in the Appalachian Mountains.
yeah, but it's West Virginia because Point
Yes.
Pleasant is one of the places.
There you go.
Which that's where the whole Mothman thing comes from. But that commander deck hasn't been revealed yet as of this recording. So, but yeah, essentially that's a quick rundown of the history of things. Oh, today's so it's not in the card image gallery yet, is what I meant. There are 2 missing from the card image gallery.
And it's like a combination of first-person shooter and action RPG sort of thing with inventory management.
The way that I described it to people back in the day when Fallout 3 came out, Fallout 3 is an RPG with first-person shooter elements, and Borderlands is a first-person shooter with RPG elements. That's how I differentiated the two, because they both came out close enough to each other to where that was a valid thing to talk about.
And then were 1 and 2 like top-down isometric RPGs?
Yeah, they were isometric. I think they were
like
turn-based.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorta. Kinda. Not turn-based like.
Not like XCOM.
Yeah, not turn-based like that, but everything was done at a very deliberate pace. Like you couldn't just fire, 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 fire. It was like fire, wait, fire, wait, fire. So turn-based isn't the right.
More of like Diablo 1. I think.
Having never played them, I'm only vaguely aware of the actual gameplay. I'm more aware of the story. So yeah, this is a post-apocalyptic alternate history where, like I said, American culture sort of froze around what in our world was the 50s. That explains the art style of things and the general demeanor of the people that you meet who aren't dealing with the post-apocalypse thing.
And most of the mainline games, you're a vault dweller who's been in a vault, who comes out and is going, wow, what happened here? And it's kind of having to adjust to the new world.
Yeah, like in Fallout 1, you had to leave your vault because you didn't have some sort of chip for your water purification system. I don't remember why you left in Fallout 2. In Fallout 3, you left your vault because the vault was sealed. No one in or out, and yet your dad disappeared from the vault. And it turns out he had been leaving many times. So that's a little weird. New Vegas, I don't think you were a vault dweller, were you? You were a courier.
You're a courier.
Yeah, who got shot in the face. And that's how the game, that's the opening in cinematic, is you getting shot in the face. So that's nice. And then Fallout 4, you go into cryo sleep. Yeah, like you get to the vault literally as the bombs are popping above you, and you go into cryo sleep, and at some point you wake up and see in the cryo chamber across from you, they take your son and shoot your spouse, and then at some point you get out and you're out to go find your kid. So there you go. There's a quick rundown of the intro to most of the Fallout games.
Okay. Thank you.
So, Dirk.
Yes.
Got anything in here that jumps out at you as awesome?
Yes. Let me scroll. It was right beside of Mysterious Stranger. Megaton's Fate.
I really like this card.
This one's
Poor
great.
Megaton. Starscream was never leaving him alone.
So Megaton is a city.
Hang on a minute, Dirk. Shut up, Brian.
Okay.
So Megaton is, when you leave the vault in Fallout 3, there's a small settlement that you go to. It's your first, there are humans, and it's a safe place for me to be. And the town is called Megaton. It has a nuclear warhead, a nuclear bomb that did not go off, that is sitting in the middle of town.
Yeah,
There are
it's built
fanatical
around
people
the
who
crater
worship
that this
it.
thing fell in.
Yeah. And so there's a quest where you are being given the option of you can detonate this thing or you can disarm it, which is why the card says choose one. I'll go ahead and read the card real quick. So for 5 and a red, it's a sorcery that I assume is rare.
I mean,
Choose one.
the rarity doesn't matter in the commander text, so
Yeah, that's true. So choose one. Disarm, destroy target artifact, create 4 treasure tokens, or detonate. Megaton's Fate deals 8 damage to each creature. Each player gets 4 rad counters. And
yeah.
the flavor text is
Does
do
it-
the right thing or do the wrong thing.
Do we know
Excuse
what a
me.
rad counter is used for?
Yeah, we talked about it before, but I can't remember,
but
and
I
I
don't
don't think it's
remember.
listed here. Let me
I
go
wonder if
find
it's
it.
similar
Okay.
to like a poison counter.
No, it's not that bad. Okay, here we go. Rad counter. Let's get that in 1 second. I have too many windows open. Really? Are we not gonna? Why does everything suck all the time? Okay, get in there. Make this big again. And then copy it for the dorks. I knew we forgot something. There we go. So the rad counter is a counter that says at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, if you have any rad counters, mill that many cards. For each non-land card milled this way, you lose 1 life and a rad counter.
Okay.
So I really like how the rad counter is a like it's got they've got a half-life essentially, and it's gonna deal you some damage, but then it's gone. Like, because radiation in the Fallout games isn't permanent. Like eventually, whatever radiation you've absorbed will go away, but if you absorb too much, you'll take a lot of damage. So it's really neat. I like the way they've implemented this.
Oh,
Cool.
Okay, so each rad is basically guaranteed to be another point of life. It's just, it might take a minute to actually happen.
Yeah. And you're milling.
so this would mill 4 cards and deal you potentially 4 damage?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to deal you 4 damage. It just might take a while. So it might end up milling more than 4 cards because it only counts non-lands.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. But yeah, if you blow up Megaton, it's really cool. Like, it's super evil, and you immediately get, like, the worst karma in the game. Because you've got a karma system in Fallout 3. And I think in all of the games. But
4 does not have it.
Oh, 4 doesn't have a karma system?
Nope.
Huh, cool. So you could be evil as hell and it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. But yeah, the dudes who hire you to do it, like you're on a tower that's far enough away to be out of blast range, but close enough to be in visual range. So they'll let you push the button, I think, while you stand there on top of this tower and watch the explosion. And it's really cool because you'll see it go off, and then a few seconds will pass, and then you'll hear the boom just like it would be in real life. I thought that was a really cool touch. And then if you go back over there, there's a big-ass crater, and everybody's dead. Except for Moira, who's a ghoul now. Oh, hey, Moira got a card.
Yes, she did.
She's multicolored, right? I think.
Yes.
Yeah, Moira Brown, guide author. So hey, let's see, author. Hey, Brian, why don't you read Moira Brown?
I'm scrolling down to her now. There's a lot of cards here, so give me just a sec.
You know, there's a
Here we
bar
go.
on the side you could grab and pull, and it'll go faster.
Yeah, I Moira Brown, guide author. She doesn't appear to be a ghoul here, so this is what, if you don't blow up town?
Yeah, this is default Moira.
Okay. All right. So Moira Brown, guide author default. For one, a red and a white. She's Boros colored. She's a legendary human citizen. She's a 2/3, so 3 mana for a 2/3. When she enters the battlefield, create a colorless equipment artifact token named Wasteland Survival Guide, because she wrote it, I
Yep.
guess.
She did.
With, this is a lot of language, with equipped creature gets +1/+1 for each quest counter among permanents you control and equip one. Really hope they made that token because that's a mouthful. So the token I think would be easier to see. Whenever you attack, put a quest counter on target non-land permanent you control. Well, that's cool. So even if the permanent doesn't care about quest counters, she can still generate them
Yeah.
for
And
the
yeah,
for her
because
field guide.
when you meet Moira Brown, she's like she's very what Irish. She's like it's she's got a terrible Irish accent, and she's like, "Oh, you can help me. I'm writing this book," and she'll send you off on various quests. Like, "Hey, go get radiation poisoning just as much as you can handle, and then come back." And
Go into this minefield
Okay.
and get to the center of the minefield.
yeah, here's a
Does she
stick.
hate you?
Like, here's a stick that has mole rat repellent on it. Go into the middle of this mole rat like nest. Like, what the hell, Moira? And
Oh, she sends you
Yeah.
on some stuff. You're just going, why did you send me here? Well, it's a survival guide. We need to see this.
yeah, and the better you do on each quest has like levels of completion, and then when you're done with them all, depending on like how far you went with each one, the Wasteland Survival Guide will have different like things that it does. Which they narrowed it down to this to be, the more quest counters you have, the better this survival guide is, which is pretty good, yeah.
So she's the only person that survives if he blow up Megaton.
Yep.
But you kind
I
of made
never
it sound
blew
like
up Megaton.
survives might be a strong word.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mean to like be an anti-ghoul bigot, but I think she'd rather be a smooth skin. And if you haven't finished the Wasteland Survival Guide, Ghoul Mora will continue to send you on quests, which I find hilarious. So yeah, she's also
but at least at that point, then I understand if she wants you to get radiation poisoning.
right. She's also the shopkeep for Megaton, so she's where you go to buy and sell stuff. So you talk to Moira a lot if you stay around Megaton at all. I always liked her. She's silly. Hey, Mike, you want to read Mr.
Yeah.
House?
Yes, let's see here.
Do you, though?
Let me find it again. I'd scrolled away looking for other
Oh,
stuff. All right,
my
Mr.
bad.
House, President and CEO, is a legendary artifact creature for red, white, black. This is 3 mana, is a 0/4. Whenever you
Wait a
roll
minute.
a four,
You
what?
left out an important line, an important
Okay.
word there.
Sorry, a legendary artifact creature, human.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird. Whenever you roll a 4 or higher, create a 3/3 colorless robot artifact creature token. If you rolled 6 or higher, instead create that token and a treasure token. So, gotta find some ways to roll dice, and Mr. House has one. Pay 4 and tap. Roll a 6-sided die plus an additional 6-sided die for each mana from treasures spent to activate this ability.
Ah.
So sometimes, if you're just relying on his ability, sometimes you just get nothing because you got to get 4 or higher on the die.
Yep.
But if you can come up with other ways to roll, then that's good. If you if you dip into the D&D stuff, then you have ways to roll D20s. So you're probably going to get 4 or higher or 6 or higher. On
Oh my
those.
god, I didn't
And
even think of that.
Well, and I know that silver bordered is questionable, but um, is it was unglued the first silver bordered set?
Unglued was the first silver bordered set, but um, Unfinity has black bordered cards, I think, that do heavy roll dice, right?
Does it? Okay, I remember that unglued had a whole lot of like roll a d6 for various
Yeah,
stuff.
and that's something that they kept in Unhinged and Unstable. But I think Unfinity has some black border die rolling stuff.
Hmm. So yeah, Mr. House
Okay.
is Dirk. Who is Mr. House?
He's the guy who was in charge of well, New Vegas. So it was Las Vegas, but he was able to put up a screen or shield that sent the nukes somewhere else and spared New Vegas. But he's like the richest man in the area and all that. And he also owns all the Securitrons.
Yeah, which is why you get robots when you roll 4 or higher.
Hmm.
But he's one of the the endings in New Vegas.
Yeah. He's a weird character.
Yeah, because what you see is the screen there with his face on it. That's how you interact with him. But if you choose to go against him, you can actually go find his body and kill him, which is why he's an artifact creature human.
So
Hmm.
is he also that thing laying on the table in the art?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like a really old dude who's hooked up to a bunch of hoses to keep him alive.
Yeah, he's sort of jacked into the Matrix, and you're talking to his, like, Matrix self, but his real body's right over there, back there, and you can go kill it if you want. It's all very weird.
Yes.
Getting a sense of weirdness, yes.
Yeah, that's
It's a
good
very weird
because
world.
yeah, there's a whole lot of weird. Um Oh god, do we read Preston? I've never played Fallout
Preston
4.
is his card is just amazing.
Like I've never played Fallout 4 and I hate Preston for telling me there's
Settlement that's
another
needs our
settlement
help.
that's in trouble. Like I have like secondhand trauma from Preston every time I show up. He's like, "Oh, there's another settlement that needs your help." Shut up! I've never played this
Is
game and I
this
hate you.
is this like our princess is in another castle sort of,
He
trauma?
it's
Or
he's
is it a
part
hey,
of
listen type thing?
yeah, he's
Hmm.
part of a group called the Minutemen in the fourth game. And they're tasked with protecting the people of the Commonwealth. And because of that, you have all these settlements. Essentially, they're like the little townships and everything, and some of the little places that you free up that you can build on. But occasionally they'll come under attack, and so he sends you like, "Hey, go protect this settlement." And there'll be raiders or ghouls or whatever is attacking it. But the problem is it's a never-ending chain. So as soon as you fix it, it pops that a new one comes up, and then a
Ah,
new one comes up, and there is no end to it. So he's constantly saying, "Hey, a settlement's under attack," and you can choose to either ignore it, in which case sometimes the settlement actually will be like people will have died, or you can go and just forever go and do all this. So it's to your benefit to go and arm all the settlements with with guns and everything in order to protect them. So you're not constantly putting out fires all the time. Or you
Yeah.
just let it sit on one where you haven't discovered the place yet and then just don't worry about it.
huh.
So what does the card do?
For 2 red, green, white, he's a human soldier, legendary creature. That's a 4/4. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a green aura enchantment token called Settlement, attached to up to 1 target land you control. Okay. It has Enchant Land, and Enchanted Land has tap, add 1 mana of any color. So he essentially gives, you put on your lands and it gives them, fertile
ground?
What is it where the land can make any color?
It's fertile ground, right?
I think that.
Fertile ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, fertile ground makes it make an extra, but yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I mean,
So this makes it so that any land you have can make whatever color you want.
Yeah.
All right. One more thing.
Prismatic. Oh, well, no, that's different. Anyway, go ahead.
It also says whenever Preston Garvey Minuteman attacks, untap each enchanted permanent you control.
Which is really cool.
So in other words, if you have enchanted all your lands, you will untap them all when he attacks, allowing you to do more things with your mana.
Not to mention any, creatures with enchantments or whatever else, too.
Mm-hmm. He goes great in an enchantment deck.
You don't say. But, is there any... If you do keep protecting settlements, is there any benefit you get from that?
No.
Oh.
Not in the game, anyway.
Is
'Cause,
there
the
not a
card-
karma or anything?
No, there's no karma system or anything.
So, yeah, in the game, in the card here, essentially Preston makes you aware of settlement. He creates settlements, and then you get a benefit for having lots of settlements. But in the video game, no.
Yeah.
I didn't know, if you'd protected a bunch of settlements, would you get, more people to help fight in some big battle or something? I don't know. Because I know the
No.
Minutemen, there's a Minuteman ending.
Yeah, there's a lot of endings in the fourth one.
So I didn't know if the number of settlements you had would, contribute to that somehow or something.
No. Some settlements innately can protect themselves, but others are just... Yeah. I think it's just that it will... Some stuff will be broken, and people will have died, and some of them are just, you have... it's this family that's there on their farm, please protect them, and all that kind of stuff. So it's meant to sort of make you attached to the families and the people who are there. But the honest truth is it's nothing major if you just don't do it. Because, it would be a terrible game if it was like, okay, you start doing this, and then all you do is protect the settlements.
Let's see here. Oh, what about Three Dog? So also in multicolored. It's Three Dog! Three Dog, Galaxy News DJ, for one a red and a white, is a legendary human bard who's a 1/5 and says, whenever you attack, you may pay 2 and sacrifice an aura attached to Three Dog. When you sacrifice an aura this way, for each other attacking creature you control, create a token that's a copy of that aura attached to that creature. And that's because Three Dog... I love the flavor on this, because Three Dog is the Galaxy News DJ. He's the voice you hear on the radio, and he's always, spreading news and talking about whatever's been happening. And he'll remark on stuff you've done. Like, whenever you do a certain quest, he'll be like, yeah, that kid from Vault 101 is out, and he's done this crazy thing. But because he's a newsman, I love that he broadcasts whatever he's got to everyone listening. I really dig that.
That's cool. I came across a card, and as someone that has zero experience with this, I actually really like this card for multiple reasons. So can I pick a card?
All right, go for
Absolutely.
And you guys can tell me which Fallout this character's from,
Right.
and if this is accurate depiction.
What
But
color?
It's in multicolor,
Okay.
and it's funny you talk about three dog because this is an actual dog. It's a robot dog.
Oh, is it
It's
Rex?
called Rex Cyberhound, which just already I'm like, okay, for
Sorry.
one, a white and a blue is a 2/2 legendary artifact creature robot dog. And you remember Energy from Kaladesh? I
Yeah.
always thought it was really kind of cool. Um, Whenever Rex Cyberhound deals combat damage to a player, they mill 2 cards and you get 2 energy. Then it has an activated ability here, pay 2 energy. Choose target creature card in a graveyard. Exile it with a brain counter on it. Activate only as a sorcery. Rex has all activated abilities of all cards in exile with brain counters on them. So, I mean, I haven't played this game, and I'm like, he's such a good boy, and he mills, and then he gets the activated abilities of those cards. So he's like, from the latest Eldraine set, he's like the witch's soul cauldron, and he's graveyard removal, but it's interactive, and I always enjoy anything that uses the exile zone in a constructive way, and it's a robot dog.
I
So,
think
what
he's New
Fallout?
Vegas.
New Vegas?
I think so.
I have no
There's a
idea.
jukebox in the corner, but from
He,
what you've told me, that's
yeah, there's a place in New Vegas where you go out into the desert, and then you essentially get kidnapped, and you get sent to a place where they cut your brain out
Yep.
and like and then they like reattach your brain to your head. They do something where they cybernetically augment you somehow.
or
And it's been a
I was
long time since I played it, but that's what they
uh,
did here.
I was hoping you were gonna say they put your brain in the dog, and then from the rest of the game you're the dog. But maybe hmm.
Yeah, it is New Vegas.
New Vegas was weird.
Like even
These
for
all
Fallout,
sound
New Vegas was weird. And it's
Yeah.
because it was made by the people who made the first two games, which they were weird.
but it's a robot dog,
Robo Puppy.
Woof.
and he's like, get all these activated abilities, and I'm like, sweet.
So
So yeah, that just jumped out at me.
it
Mike
seems accurate enough, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Mike, is there a card that really jumped out at you?
Well, there was. It's in black, and it's a card that represents the VATS system that we were talking about. Well, I guess VATS system is redundant. It's like saying ATM machine, but it is.
I like that movie too.
It is VATS, VATS.
Oh, there it is.
So for 2 black, it's an instant with split second. So like we were saying before, time pauses while you're looking at VATS. It has split second. So, no one can respond with spells or activated abilities that aren't mana abilities while this is on the stack. So choose any number of target creatures with equal toughness. Destroy the chosen creatures.
Yeah, and
See,
that's
this almost
because
sounds like
what you're doing is you're shooting at each one with the same weapon. So you're essentially taking out anything that's got that much. I love the flavor of it too, and it's split second because you paused.
yeah, that's cool.
So the thing when I read this and my brain just came to a screeching halt when I first read it, and I'm going, so if I say 1, does that mean an army of 1/1s are all dead?
Yes.
I mean, any
It means an
of
army
the
of
ones that you
X ones.
target.
Yeah. Like they could be 6 1s or 10 1s or whatever.
Yeah.
As long as their toughness is the
Toughness is
same.
1 or whatever number you pick.
Yeah. Like if someone's made a whole ass load of Garys, you can wipe them all out in vats.
Yeah.
Freaking Garys. But yeah,
Yeah.
Brian and Mike, if you look at the non fancy version, you'll see what vets. It's easier to see on that one where it's his head is highlighted because that's what you're currently looking at, and it shows you the percentage to hit.
Yeah.
What the health on that is, so the lower the health, more damage you do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Another thing that brought this card to my attention was actually something I read sometime last week. Was a person asking a question about an interesting rules interaction. So it's possible to have a scenario where a triggered ability of one of the creatures being targeted, or something else on the battlefield, will give one or more of the creatures some kind of boost. And the question was, what does that mean for this card? Do only some of the creatures get destroyed? Does nothing at all get destroyed? It's like, what happens? And I'm really interested to see the rulings notes for this set, so I can see what they say about bats. Because I think if any of the creatures ends up with a changed toughness before VAT starts resolving, I think it just breaks the whole target set.
Yeah.
And none of them are valid anymore.
None of them are valid because they all have to be...
Yeah, because none of them has
equal
toughness to all of the others.
Right.
Yeah.
And even if, let's say you have 90 with the same toughness and one that doesn't, well, they don't all have equal toughness.
Yeah, but like this is the only card that has a set of targets that's defined this way. It's the only card, so there aren't any other precedents. So yeah, I really want to see the rulings notes.
Neat.
Well, it says target creatures.
Yeah.
So if that target doesn't have that, then it's just not a legal target anymore.
It is, but neither are the others. If there are 3 creatures, they all have 2 toughness. But there's some kind of triggered ability that gives one of them +1 toughness, then that means you have 2 creatures with 2 toughness and another creature with 3 toughness that are being targeted. So
yeah.
So because one no longer has it, that means none of them would be.
That's what I think, because obviously the one that has 3 toughness, that's not equal to the other ones that have 2. But also either of the ones that have 2 toughness, they aren't equal toughness to the one that has 3.
Yeah.
So like for instance, if someone has a creature that says whenever a player casts a black spell, this creature gets +1/+1.
Yeah.
Because the split second doesn't interact with that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it would have to be something triggered like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or something that triggers from a mana ability being activated, since you are allowed to activate mana abilities.
Yeah.
When something with split second is on the stack.
That is such a bizarre corner case.
Too hard.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a bizarre corner case that I'm sure judges everywhere are like, oh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if Brian Perlman has written a treatise about this in a Facebook comment section somewhere. Oh man, there's another card with split second. Inventory management down in multicolored. Inventory management is really cool. For a red and a white, it's an instant with split second that says, for each aura and equipment you control, you may attach it to a creature you control.
You're managing your inventory.
Yeah, because when you pull up your inventory, the game pauses, so it has split second. And you can move around what's equipped where. Which I think is really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's neat.
Also, inventory management is one of those cards that's not in one of the commander decks. It's only in collector boosters. No, wait. Over here. Sorry, the first there's 3 on this line. Sorry, it's in Scrappy Survivors. The first one is in a commander deck. Got it. Thanks, new card image. I really love and hate the new card image gallery chat. Okay. Wait, chat had something in white earlier. White Glove Gourmand. Oh, that's in multicolor. Sorry. It had the word white in it. White Glove Gourmand. That is TUV.
The
There it is.
last card in multicolored.
Wait, why is... Oh, the Wise Mothman. Okay, thanks. All right. I have no idea which game this is from. I think it might
It's
be New
from-
Vegas.
I think it's from New Vegas. If I remember correctly, there's a somewhere in town, one of the places, there's this place you go into and you have to be dressed up, and you find out the people in there are, I think, like cannibals.
That happens depressingly a lot in Fallout games.
Yeah, but I think there's like high society, and then they like eat somebody.
Naturally.
Kind of like what was it, the one that had the vampires that decide they were going to get married, the magic set, and then they ate some villagers before there's a ceremony.
Crimson Vow. Yeah.
There you go. The same sort of thing, except that it's like, hi, hey, this food's great.
Wow.
Wonder who the chef is, and that sort of thing.
So
You're eating the chef.
what? He was delicious. So White Glove Gourmand is for 2 a black and a white is a human noble. Not legendary. A 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. Hey. And at the beginning of your end step, if another human died under your control this turn, create a food token. Yep.
Oh, I mean, sometimes you just don't need to say anything. The card just literally has it right there.
Oh, that's amazing.
You remember when, was it original Innistrad came out and they're like, we're finally doing it. We're finally printing the card that says sacrifice a human. We've been waiting to, like, go there for so long. This doesn't say that in so many words, but the context is... Wow.
I'm just glad I remembered it correctly.
Yeah.
Look what happened, and it definitely fits with that.
Ooh.
Read the flavor text.
Mm-hmm.
Here's to us. It's time we move beyond beef. Oh, come on. Ooh. Let's do the bobbleheads real quick. I think
Yes.
they're all in the card images.
Those-
So the bobbleheads, they're artifacts, are collectibles that permanently increase one of your special stats. There are 7 of them in these Fallout games. They're a Vault Boy. And your special stats, again, are Strength, Perception, Endurance, I think is E. What is C?
Charisma.
Charisma. I is Intelligence, A is Agility, and L is Luck. So let's actually read them in special order. Why not? Are they all here? I think they're all here. No, they're not. Son of a...
I didn't see all of them earlier today.
Damn it. Okay, hang on. Someone posted them all in the Discord. I'm gonna go get it. Because they've all been revealed. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Scroll. There's 2 of them. Where is this image? Oh, this is this image is not from... Hang on. Open in browser. Okay, there we go. Send it to the dorks, because if I try to explain to you how to find the Universes Beyond Fallout thread, you'll actually all die. There we go. Now zoom in once.
Okay,
Okay, close enough.
Okay.
that's nifty.
All right, so the bobbleheads in the video games are collectibles. I know they're in 3. Are they in any of the others,
Four
Dirk?
also.
Do what?
I don't remember if they're in New Vegas, but I know they're in 4.
Yeah, so they're at least in 3 and 4. So they're bobbleheads that permanently increase one of your special stats. And yeah, some of them are in tucked away in very weird places. Some of them like you can't go back to, so if you miss it, you miss it. Whatever. All of the bobbleheads are 3 mana artifacts that tap for 1 mana of any color. So, that's useful. But they all have another ability that is related to their special stat. Or it's called special, again, because that's just a cute little acronym they came up with to be stats instead of... I don't think there is an acronym for D&D, is there? It's just your stats. Yeah, exactly. So, for instance, the ability on the Strength bobblehead is pay 3 and tap to put X +1/+1 counters on target creature, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control. Activate only as a sorcery. So the more bobbleheads you get, the better.
More counters you get to put on things.
Well, I mean, for all of these, the more bobbleheads you have, the better.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
The effect is...
Yeah, the effect is increased. So, Mike, read Perception.
All right. So for perception, its special ability is pay 3, tap. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control. You may cast a spell with mana value 3 or less from among them without paying its mana cost to put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order.
So one of the things that Perception controls is how far out your little radar thing can see. So the higher your perception, the further away enemies will show up as a little red mark on your it's essentially a radar thing. Which is sort of what this is doing. The higher your perception, the more bobbleheads you have, then the deeper you can dig to find something useful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, hey, Dirk, what's Endurance do?
Endurance has the special ability of 3 and tap. Up to X target creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible until end of turn, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control as you activate this ability, and can only be used as a sorcery.
Pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So your endurance, if I remember correctly, is how much damage you can take.
Yeah, it's your damage resistance, your HP, how much you can carry. No, that's strength, isn't it?
That's strength.
Yeah.
But yeah, how much damage you can take, and like I said, it has related to your hit points and everything.
Yeah. Hey Brian, what's Charisma do?
Charisma has pay 4 and tap, create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control. Activate only as a sorcery. So I guess the more charismatic you are, the more people you can win over to your side.
Exactly.
Helps you trade with people better. Is one of the main perks of it.
Yeah. It also, I think Charisma affects your ability to convince people to do things.
Okay.
Yeah. The Intelligence bobblehead has 5 and tap to draw X cards, where X is your bobblehead number. I think that one pretty much speaks for itself.
Yep.
That would explain why it's 5.
Yeah. What do you need to make that worth it? 3 bobbleheads out?
I'd say 2. 5 and tap for 2 cards. Nothing
Yeah,
else.
that is kind of ridiculous, isn't it?
And it doesn't have the sorcery speed restriction.
Thank goodness.
So I think 2 is where you want to be, and anything more is great. And 4+ is ridiculous.
Yeah. So, hey, let's see. Hey, Dirk, what's agility?
So agility for 3 and tap, up to X target creatures you control each gain haste until end of turn and can't be blocked this turn, except by creatures with haste, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control as you activate this ability.
That is so weird. That can't be blocked except by creatures with haste. That one made my head go, wait, what? And I read it again.
That's the Ginger Brute ability. Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't
Yeah.
catch me. We haven't really seen that
Yeah.
almost anywhere
Well,
else.
it harkens back to the fear ability. You can only be blocked by creatures. Or no, what was it?
Fear was black and artifact creatures.
black and artifacts.
Intimidate is artifact and creatures that share a color, right?
Was it
Right.
shift?
What
What
you
was the
thinking of
one
Shadow?
that's unblockable except by creatures that
Shadow.
also
Yeah, Shadow.
Shadow? That's
There's also the high flying creatures, I guess. But
Yeah.
like Dex controls your things like the number of ability points you have when you go into VATS and how fast you move.
I'm sorry, you said high flying, and that's the when, this can only be blocked by other creatures with flying and not reach, or can only block creatures with flying or something, is that right?
Something like that.
Something like that. I just pictured a bird going, "Whoa, I can see my feathers." So I'm sorry. I'm not meaning to distract.
It's all right. Is there anyone that hasn't read the Luck Bobblehead yet?
I haven't read it.
Okay, Brian, read the Luck Bobblehead.
Okay, it's got the usual stuff. Pay, is that 1?
Yeah.
Pay 1, tap, roll X 6-sided dice, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control. That president dude would love this. Create a tapped treasure token for each even result. If you rolled 6 exactly 7 times, you win the game. Slot machine, cause luck. This is kind of ridiculous with 3, because, or more, because, as I'm thinking specifically for that president dude guy, that's his name, because not only are you rolling dice, but you're also giving him treasures to then use for his own ability.
Yeah. Mr. House is his name.
Mr. House.
And
dude.
yeah, these two are, according to someone in the Discord, they're the only dice rolling cards in that deck. Which, on the one hand, is a shame, but on the other hand, it's still a shame.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't know how accurate that is. Like I said, I think someone in the Discord just mentioned that, and I was like, excuse me. But yeah, I love if you get 7 6s, or 7 6s, then you win. That just makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, if you get 7 6s in a row, you should automatically win the game.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's the bobbleheads. I really like the implementation of these. As I guess cycle's the wrong word in Magic, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. But alright then. What else we got that jumps out at anybody?
I'm gonna do the one that I said in when we were texting each other, and Mike had jumped out and been like, "Oh yeah, that's a reprint and everything," because it's been a long time since this one's been a card.
Yep.
And that is Ravages of War. So for 3 and a white, it's a sorcery, and it just says 3 words: destroy all lands.
It's an Armageddon,
but with a different name.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike,
and
what's this from?
Probably the best art ever.
Portal 3 Kingdoms was what it's originally from.
That's a deep cut right there.
Right.
That's interesting. It doesn't show up in what I have filtered to show the default treatments. What treatments does it have?
Traditional foil and surge foil.
Oh,
That's
it's a borderless.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay.
But yeah, so this thing was Portal 3 Kingdoms, and it was reprinted in Masters Edition 2. Which, was that?
That was an online
I was going to say, that was Moto only, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and this one is also, because it's the borderless only, it's only in the collector boosters. Not in any of the decks. Thank goodness, because I think if they put an Armageddon card in one of the pre-built commander decks, I think there might be a small riot.
But I love the allude to Planet of the Apes.
Right? Yeah, a thing that you might not know if you haven't played any of the Fallout games is that Vault Boy here is not only is he the mascot for the series, but he's also depicted doing stuff, usually in all the perks. So, like if you're like upgrading like your science skill, then there'll be a picture of him like with a microscope.
And he's doing a sciencey thing.
Yeah. And like the mysterious stranger perk has Fallout Boy. Thanks for the memories. Has Vault Boy with like the fedora and the trench coat. That sort of thing. So seeing him in the damn you blew it up pose here from Planet of the Apes, it didn't even occur to me that they were doing a Planet of the Apes thing, because you just see Fallout Boy. I did it again. You just see Vault Boy doing all kinds of goofy stuff all the time. Fallout Boy. Oh my god. You see why I'm doing that, direct? Because it's Fallout and it's Vault Boy. And I really like Fallout Boy.
This is not a card game. It's a gosh darn arms race.
Was that Fallout Boy?
I thought it was.
Oh, okay. I always get them and Panic at the Disco songs mixed up for some reason. In white, there's Over Encumbered, which we might have talked about last time, actually.
I feel like we did.
Yeah. So never mind. Let's see here. What else? Oh, Mantle of the Ancients. I know that's a reprint, right?
I can't remember from what. I'll look it up.
Oh, okay. But the art, I learned this in a Facebook comments. The art here is from the beginning of Fallout 2, because that is the vault jumpsuit worn by the main character from Fallout 1. And apparently he went on to like form a new city or town or something, and this is you see this
memorabilia that's left of him.
Yeah.
It was from Wild's Veldrain Commander.
Oh, okay. Weird. Oh, Razorback said they finished the Odyssey Signet Land cycle. Signet Land. What, they do the enemy colors? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I saw a green-black one on Facebook the other day.
Because they finished the ally color cycle, right? Like in Odyssey.
Yeah, that was there, yeah.
Okay. So that is cool. Let's see. There were a couple others that Oh, there's Gary again. There are a couple others that I wanted to bring up, but I can't remember. Oh, there's Codsworth, I guess.
Can I mention one?
Yeah, jump in.
All right. So there's Ruinous Ultimatum, which is a reprint, and I always liked that card. But next to it is something really kind of interesting, and the art is very striking, and I definitely want to know the story behind what's happening here. So you guys let me know. This is the Nipton Lottery. And dude looks like he's running away from a house on fire with people fighting in the background. So I guess he gets to go free while everybody else dies. But the card is interesting. For 2, a black and a red to sorcery, choose a creature at random. You gain control of that creature until end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste until end of turn. Then destroy all other creatures. So it's this weird, almost like pseudo insurrection, except you're taking the only creature that's left. I didn't notice the flavor text here. Oliver Swanick won the only lottery that matters, a chance to live another day. Everybody else has to fight, I guess?
I mean, if it's your first night. I have no idea.
It's in New Vegas.
Of course it is.
And
wow.
It's been long now. I'm like, I couldn't remember what it was, but apparently it's where a bunch of people will take a lottery, and if you're a loser, bad things happen. You can either be decapitated, crucified, or enslaved.
Wow. No, like, middle ground there.
Or, apparently, win a jackpot worth millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the
Wait,
reason.
no, that's...
You know...
Okay, yeah, no, that's pre-war. All right, hang on.
Feels like a lot of these are from New Vegas.
I think that's just because we keep happening upon them. Because it was weird. Yeah. And so they're eye-catching.
And the first and second game take place in that area as well. Like, they take place on the West Coast. So there's a little bit of overlap. Like, I think all 3 games have the NCR in them. Which is the New California Republic.
Wait, which 3 games?
The first, second, and New Vegas.
Oh, okay.
I think they have the NCR in them as part of the story. Because I think in the first one they have the NCR. I don't remember about the second one. Because I think I did like a once over at some point. Being like, what's the story since I'm playing all these games? But it's been a while. But yeah, Caesar's Legion is the one who runs the lottery, and thus, it's like, oh, you lost.
Okay, here we go. Vulpes used his small legion force to round up the residents along with the aforementioned groups, including the mayor. What followed was a massacre. Those who resisted were shot. Those that did not were subjected to a lottery. Using lottery tickets, the fate of those gathered was decided. The lucky losers were decapitated, followed by crucifixions, enslavement for third-place winners, crippling for the runner-up, boxcars and freedom for Oliver Swanick, the sole winner. Ha!
That's the person running.
Yeah, the mayor was burned to death on a pile of tires after his ticket was called. Oh. Huh. Well, that's depressing and also perfectly fitting flavor-wise. Hey! Jesus. There's a saga down here below this, the Vault 112 Sadistic Simulation. This one is really cool. For 2 a blue and a red, it's a saga. Chapters 1 and 2 are tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. You get 2 energy. So that's pretty cool. That's 2 turns of getting 2 energy. And then Chapter 3 says pay any amount of energy. If you paid 1 or more energy this way, shuffle your library, then exile that many cards from the top. What?
just following along. It's
Oh.
it's the storm from Scourge, the really neat one that was also stupid broken.
The Dragon Storm?
No, the blue one.
Oh. Well,
Mine
let
is
me
that.
finish reading the card.
Okay, sorry, go
Pay
ahead.
any amount of energy. If you paid 1 or more energy this way, shuffle your library, then exile that many cards from the top. You may play one of those cards without paying its mana cost.
Oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be Mind's Desire, like you could play all of them. That would probably be dumb.
Well, yeah. Oh, the amount of energy is the number of cards you shuffle. Okay. Or the number of cards you exile to pick from. Gotcha. So yeah, Vault 112 is, spoilers, I guess, it's where you find your dad. Caught up in this simulation of pre-war America run by a sadistic and demented doctor dude who's actually running around. It's essentially the Matrix, and he's running around as a little girl.
Who tells you to do bad things to people?
Yeah. And it's very weird. But I'm guessing the flavor here is you're putting creatures into the simulation to get energy out of them. I guess.
Something like that.
Something like that. It's a major plot point though to do this. Like you have to jump into the simulation, and you could be, oh, what's the name of the, you put on a clown mask and go murder people? Damn it.
Purge? The Purge?
What is the Tranquility Lane? Hang on.
And if I remember correctly, if you die in the simulation, you die in real life.
The Pint Slice Slasher. There we go. But yeah, Betty is the little girl, and Betty will tell you to make Timmy cry, and then to break up the Rockwell's marriage, and then to kill Mabel Henderson in a sufficiently creative manner. And it's trippy. You can actually, like, there's a way to find a terminal in the simulation, sort of like saying Arch in the holodeck. Like you can find a terminal and run the Chinese invasion subroutine, which will cause Chinese commandos to run in and kill everybody. Oh, and your dad is the dog. Oh, I forgot.
Yep.
Oh, I love this stupid game. Oh. Let's see. We haven't looked at any cards in green. Oh, hey, you guys remember the Godzilla treatments?
Yeah.
That
Yes.
they brought back later in Lord of the Rings? And they've brought him back again in this. Tarmogoyf becomes the Scrounging Deathclaw. Just thought I'd share
That's
that.
cool. Yeah.
Deathclaws are the most dangerous creatures in the Fallout games. I don't know what the hell they used to be, but they're terrifying murder machines in pretty much all of the Fallout games, I think.
Oh.
They will just
They
show
are
up and kill you.
gigantic, with giant claws, which thus the name Deathclaw comes from.
Yeah.
And generally, one or two swipes from them will kill you.
Yeah. Which is why, like, early in Fallout 4, when you come across the Minutemen trying to kill a Deathclaw, if you don't pucker slightly, it means you've played this game too much. Oh, Dirk, did you see Rancor?
Yes, I
saw
saw
that
that
car.
Rancor was in it.
Yeah, with amazing art of like an old lady standing over somebody with like a 2x4, right?
It's a rolling pin.
Yeah.
Oh, even better.
Even better. But yeah, it got reprinted with Maud's Muggers art. They're apparently a trio of old ladies who terrorize people in the town of Freeside in New Vegas. Which makes everybody happy, I think. Where is Nick Valentine? Was he multicolored?
He's blue.
He's blue?
Yep.
All right, tell us about him, Dirk, while I go find him.
Nick Valentine, Private Eye, for 2 and a blue, is a legendary artifact creature synth detective.
Look
He's
how
a 2/2.
Look how tiny that type line is.
Yeah, it is. He's a 2/2. Nick Valentine, Private Eye, can't be blocked except by artifact creatures. Whenever Nick Valentine or another artifact creature you control dies, you may investigate.
And he can't be blocked except by artifact creatures. I think he's an old synth who's
He's
like
he's one of the first round of synths that were put out.
Yeah, synths are lifelike androids.
Mm-hmm.
But like his skin and whatnot is rotting off. And my take on why he can't be blocked except by artifact creatures is because everyone's freaked out by him and won't get near him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he really does look bizarre.
Yeah, because he's no one really avoids him in Diamond City. They're like, it's Nick. But most people, when you talk about synths, they get really jittery about it because in Fallout 4, the boogeyman it's the new whatever it's like MIT, but they're a secret group that supposedly goes in and replaces people with synths, copies of people. So it's like people are disappearing and being replaced by synths is one of the things that's going on.
Wait, is that actually going on, or is that just a bizarre fear that people have?
It's a bizarre fear people have, and really what's happening is the people there are synths themselves, and they're the institute. That's what it was. The institute will go in and they'll recollect synths to be like, yeah, you're a synth. We're gonna reprogram you so you know what you're supposed to be doing. But it looks like they're abducting people, but really the people they're abducting are synths.
Yeah.
Themselves.
The more recent round of synths are so lifelike that you literally can't tell.
Do they not realize that they are synths?
There's
No.
a
lot of them don't.
There's a quest in Fallout 3 where you have to talk to a lot of people in Rivet City to try to figure out who is the rogue synth. And because they don't even know, and when you tell them, they're like, "What?" And then you have the option to turn them into, it turns out they're from the Institute, but we didn't meet the Institute yet because they didn't show up till Fallout 4. But you can either turn them in or help them escape. And I think there's a third option too. You might just kill them outright, I think. But yeah, he doesn't know he's a synth because you can't tell. In Fallout 4, like if you kill a synth, they've got like there's a thing in their inventory that shows you they're a synth. It's like a synth, like a microchip or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you'll kill people and go to loot their bodies and see that they've got one of those. You're like, oh, huh. Which I always thought was a nice little touch. Good old Nick. I like that he's got the detective type. Because, that's pretty cool. I don't know. Ooh, how about Vault 101?
That the
An
birthday one?
artifact?
No, it's white. It's Vault 101 birthday party.
Oh, one.
Yeah. Who hasn't read a card lately?
Has Mike read a card lately?
Yeah. So, Vault 101, the birthday party, is a saga, and these other vaults also seem to be sagas. So this one just costs 4. It costs 3 and a white, and it has 3 chapters. Chapter 1, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token and a food token. So human soldier, and a food. Chapters 2 and 3 are the same. You may put an aura or equipment card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield. If an equipment is put onto the battlefield this way, you may attach it to a creature you control. So first guests and cake, and then presents.
Exactly, yeah. And the birthday party is what, the second thing that happens to your main character in Fallout 3? Because the first thing that happens is you're born. No, then the second thing that happens is you're a toddler who wanders around, finds the Your Special book, and that's where you set your character's opening stats. And then I think it jumps to you being 11 and having your birthday party. Fallout 3 starts off weird, because literally what happens is you're born. And Liam Neeson voices your father. And it's very weird and disconcerting.
See, I wasn't gonna say like, it starts when you're born. I'm like, yeah, that's how my life started too. It's weird you didn't have that experience. Maybe you hatched, but Liam Neeson did not voice my father.
Chewie sprung forth fully formed from the old man's brow.
Baby comes out, and the father says, "Listen to me closely. The nurse is going to take you."
Oh my god. Did you want to talk about Codsworth? Sure. I forgot what color Codsworth is, though. Is he in white?
I think he is.
Yes. Yeah, there's Codsworth. All right, so Codsworth, for 2 and a white, is a legendary artifact creature robot. Commanders you control have Ward 2. Huh. Because Codsworth is a modified Mr. Gutsy robot who is here to protect you, I think. So you have Ward 2. He taps for white, and you can spend this mana only to cast aura and or equipment spells. That's cool. And you can tap him to attach target aura or equipment you control to target creature you control, but only as a sorcery. Oh, and he's a 2/3. Full name is Codsworth, Handy Helper. I don't actually, having not played Fallout 4, I don't actually know what Codsworth does. I'm going to guess it's something to do with weapons or something?
He's like a maid for your house. And when you come back, it's been like 300 years, and he's like, "Oh, you came back," and he's like, "Oh, it's been so long since I seen you. What's happened?" And blah 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 and everything. But yeah, he will just follow you around. I mean, he's a companion that shows up, but yeah, he's like a robot who's sad that bad things happen to your family, but he's been really lonely, and so he's like, "I'm just glad you're here and that you came back and that you've re-welcomed me back in with you and everything." So yeah, I can see him being like handy and wanting to fix and do things for you.
Yeah. I didn't realize that it had been that long from the opening of the game to the beginning of the game. Holy crap.
Yeah, I want to say it's yeah, because the bombs fell in 21, and then I think it's 24 is when the story picks up.
Jesus.
So it's been like 200 or 300 years since everything went to pot.
Yeah.
And it's the lighter of the games because a lot of what happened in Fallout 3 predates Fallout 4, because one of the last cards I'll need to head out here soon, but the last card I'll bring up is Liberty Prime.
Oh yeah.
Because Liberty Prime shows up in Fallout 4, but it
Yeah.
originally was introduced in Fallout 3. So Liberty Prime recharged for 2 blue, red, white.
America.
Yep. So
Sorry.
legendary artifact creature robot is an 8/8 with vigilance, trample, and haste. I'm gonna let that sink in for a minute.
Yeah. Those are big numbers.
For that cost, and for what it does, something's got to go on with it. Whenever Liberty Prime recharged attacks or blocks, sacrifice it unless you pay 2 energy counters. For 2 and tap, sacrifice an artifact, you get 2 energy counters and draw a card.
Yeah. When you first run into Liberty Prime in Fallout 3, he's still like being constructed, and I think you have a quest to try to find a power source or something. I can't remember.
I think so.
Yeah.
But Liberty Prime is a gigantic robot that I think is like a 4-story tall robot.
Something
that is
insane
a walking
like that.
arsenal.
Yeah. Like if Solid Snake was there, Solid Snake would try to take it down because Metal Gear.
I mean, it's essentially what it is a giant walking like tank, except it's not a tank. It's like a whole squad of tanks.
And like
it shoots energy beams, and there's a mission where it will walk in front and plow the road ahead of you as you assault the bad guys. And it just takes out barrier after barrier after barrier.
And I think wasn't that the original ending everyone hated, and so they added a DLC. Not so much that everyone hated it, not like Mass Effect 3, but the original ending was sort of like, oh, and then this happened, and then all right, you died. What? Like so they added with the Brotherhood of Steel DLC, they added a new ending where you actually like follow along behind you and like the Brotherhood of Steel, who are, it doesn't matter. You're assaulting the Enclave, and you're following along behind Liberty Prime as he clears the way, and it's a big like massive war. And it's actually really cool. I'm not gonna lie. Because like Dirk said, he's like 4 stories tall. Like, he's massive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he shows up at the end somewhere in 4. Like, actually, doesn't he do stuff in 4 too? He's not just like referenced.
That is correct. He's there and he does stuff. I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah, we say he. He's not a character. He's a piece of equipment. But
giant robot.
Giant robot.
So, but yeah, I need to head out soon. So.
All right. Well, I'm glad you got to end on Liberty Prime, because Liberty Prime, and he's America colored.
He is
America. Razorback said that the vault cards can be pretty depressing. Yeah, that's because the vaults are pretty depressing.
Amazing how that works.
Yeah, like
almost none of them are happy.
Yeah, there are a couple. Like, and you should look up like YouTube videos of like Fallout vaults, because some of the stuff is just insane.
Like the least offensive ones are the ones where they're constantly having to repair things because stuff keeps breaking. Okay, that's not bad. But there's ones where like they're putting in a ultra low humming noise, and it slowly drives people mad.
Yeah.
Because it's musicians are the ones who do it who have the best hearing, and so they're like, we're going to try and see if musicians can hear this noise. They do, and it drives them mad, and they start killing everybody.
Yeah. I think they
pumped a nerve agent into one.
Yeah. There's I feel like there was one where like there was no entertainment at all of any sort. but there were weapons. And then there was another one where there was all kinds of entertainment and no weapons or something. There's one where they had to like vote and sacrifice someone every year. Like, they just, the more you look into it,
is, will they just not do that? And if you were the person that, when they decide they were not going to do it, they're like, hey, congratulations, you guys are the winners. And of course, there's only one person left.
yeah, like the more you look into it, the more evil and like comically evil Vault Tech becomes. Oh, there's a card. Oh crap, I can't remember what it is. It might be Blasphemous Act, actually. Hang on. Blasphemous Act is reprinted, but the flavor text is everyone knew the bombs were coming. Everyone but the public. Just let that sink in for a second. Like, at the beginning of Fallout 4, the Vault Tech dude shows up to, like, ask you a bunch of questions. And he's like, hey, remember, you've got your spot in the vault. And when the bombs are falling, he, like, comes to get you. He's like, you got to go and get in the vault. He's not getting in the vault, but he desperately wants to make sure that
like, no,
you're getting in the vault. Do what?
The power armor at the gate says you don't get to come in. You the player, do.
Yeah. So, like, Vault Tech was handpicking people to be in their vaults for their weird experiments. It's all very insane. But, yeah. Oh, wait. Hey, where's, no, not Evolving Wilds. Where's Wild Wasteland? Okay, one last card before you go, Dirk. Wild Wasteland in red. It's a red rare enchantment. For 2 and a red, it says skip your draw step. Okay?
Best card ever.
Yeah. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play those cards this turn. So, instead of getting your draw that you can then hold on to, you get 2 cards and you get 1 shot to use them. The card itself is really, neat as a red rare enchantment. It's very red, it's red card draw. I like it. But what it's depicting so the flavor text says some things in the wasteland are best left unexplained. And like the art shows skeletons playing poker and an alien abduction happening in the background. And do you remember, Dirk, what Wild Wasteland is? I'm guessing not.
Was it when they were abducting people and keeping them for different time periods?
No. Wild Wasteland is a perk.
Oh.
From New Vegas. And I'm just going to read you what the wiki says. Benefits. Adds additional wacky, in quotes, content and modifies existing content and random encounters.
Wacky?
Yeah. So, the random encounter system in Bethesda games is actually really cool. Where if you're walking along a road, there's some percentage chance, depending on what's been happening and where you are, that something will happen. It keeps, walks between towns from being completely boring if you're not fast traveling. And Wild Wasteland in New Vegas took that and cranked it up to a 13. The wiki says, taking this trait adds and or changes certain random encounters and locations which would not appear the same in-game without the trait. Events and locations modified / added by the trait are indicated as such by a unique sound effect and an on-screen ellipsis message with an image of the Vault Boy with spirals for eyes, identical to the trait's icon. So, you can find a skeleton in a refrigerator in the desert with a suave gambler hat on, which is a reference to nuking the fridge in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You can see...
I thought probably.
Yeah, you can see aliens. If you have Rex, hey, remember Rex as your companion, the dog?
The brain dog?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then sometimes Rex will go aroo at you, and it'll determine that little Jimmy has fallen into a well, and you have to
Little
go.
Jimmy.
Yeah, and yeah, you go find the well, and you'll find the child skeleton, a mole rat, a BB gun, a bunch of BBs, a cowboy hat, and a super stem pack. Apparently, you don't meet Maud's muggers from Rancor unless you have Wild Wasteland turned on. Just you can
So
find.
it basically just changes everything, all this basic stuff from the game.
Yeah, it adds just weird stuff. Like apparently, you can find outside of Nipton. You remember where the lottery was?
Yep.
You can
I remember.
find two burned skeletons. The male will be named Owen, and the female named Baru.
Oh. Is there any blue milk around?
So yeah, there's just. It says there are 15 major Wild Wasteland encounters. And besides the encounters, there are other dialogue options and just weird stuff that can happen in various other places. So it's the same game, but it's off slightly. Which means when you play Wild Wasteland the card, you're playing the same game, but it's off slightly because your draw is different.
Yeah.
I saw this and I'm like, this is brilliant. Because even though I've never played New Vegas, I'm well aware of the weirdness of Wild Wasteland.
Dirk, you need to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to head out.
So, what's your final thought there, Mr. Dirk?
I have not bought Magic in a very long time, and this set has reinvigorated me to see about acquiring the commander sets for this. So I'm trying to make sure that I have everything allocated so I can acquire them.
Nice. There's only, what, 4, right?
Yeah, there's only the 4.
Yeah.
I'm not spending $350 for the packs and everything.
Yeah.
Like get a box of them, but I'm gonna try and see if I can get the commander decks for this.
Nice.
So that's my final thought. And with that, I'm gonna head to bed because long day ahead tomorrow.
Fair enough. Well, have a good night, Zerk.
Dirk.
All right, good night, guys.
I guess we should probably stop too, huh?
It is getting on.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll go back to the regular screen. And how about the final thought for you guys? What you got?
I'm doing okay. Currently kind of between video games. I've actually been doing some reading lately. Nothing I can really point at exactly. And I've been very, very busy with work, but in a satisfying way, not in an overburdened way, although there are times in the last 3 weeks where it's felt like it's teetered on the edge there. But I'm hoping that I can get some work done tomorrow and kind of going into next week, and then I'm looking forward to seeing some family next week when they come into town. So that's pretty much where I'm at.
Nice.
Everything's okay. Yeah.
How about you, Beardy Man?
I mean, not much new to report, personally. If Dirk does end up getting the set of commander decks, I'm definitely interested in us playing them all against each other. There's some neat designs in here.
Yeah.
We need to do the Warhammer 40k ones too. Those are cool. I'm very happy with those. But yeah, they're left pretty abruptly. But I was gonna tell them, it's like, yeah, man, if you like this property and you think the cards look cool, definitely go ahead and get it, because I was very happy getting the 40K ones.
Nice.
Sweet.
You know who's really into Warhammer 40K?
Who's that?
Henry Cavill.
Oh, I
Superman?
think I heard about that. Mm-hmm.
I mean, not anymore, but yeah. Also, I'd go, he's Geralt of Rivia, but not anymore, but yeah.
The property does attract some weirdos.
Like Henry Cavill. I saw, I think it was a reel on Facebook that made me so happy. It was like, this is how fast guys become friends. And it was from the Netflix Geeked, like, interview with the cast of The Witcher.
Mm-hmm.
And Felicia Day was like, all right, let's talk about what you guys actually geek out about. And she goes, Henry, let's start with you. And he's like, oh, well, for me, it's Warhammer 40K. You know, I've been in it since I was like 12 or something. And one of the other people on the stage goes, hey, what's your army right now? And he says, oh, I'm running this. And the other dude goes, oh, yeah, mine's this. And they all of a sudden, Henry goes, should we? And the other guy goes, yeah. And so, boom, they're going to go play as soon as they get a chance. And
Nice.
that stuck out in my head, is this is how fast guys make friends.
Yeah.
We get one thing in common, especially if it's something where, like a leisure activity. The age-old image is two guys in sports or whatever. That's the stereotypical one.
Yep.
But
Mhm.
if something at work, you can vent about work, or you can be like, "This is what I'm doing." But when it's how you spend your free time, then I think it's very easy for people to go, "Oh yeah, this is what I'm into."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Sure.
Since Warhammer came up.
Right.
I know Dirk isn't with us anymore. But isn't he like super into Mech Warrior, or am I not thinking of the right thing?
I know he does like MechWarrior. I don't know if he's still terribly into it, but
Okay.
I know he's played the games and read the books. I don't know if he actually plays. Is MechWarrior a tabletop thing? I don't actually know.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if
think
he's
it's
done any
I
of
think
that.
It's just called that's just called BattleTech.
BattleTech. You're a BattleTech.
I think. Gosh, I can't remember. It's been so long. I think they used to be separate properties that just kind of got folded into each other. I don't know. That might be wrong.
I have no idea. All right, then. So wait, was that both of you?
That was both of us, yes.
Oh. All right, then. Well, for me, I will go ahead and announce here at the end of the show, like a dummy, the Chivos for Charity stream is going to be the weekend of March the 23rd. So 23rd and 24th. I will be streaming. I'm aiming for like 12 hours both days. But we'll see how that goes. I've got hundreds and hundreds of Steam games to give away. I've got dozens of achievements that I'm going to randomize and pick to, go for next. We're going to be raising money for Trans Lifeline because it is a terrifying time to be trans right now when,
Oh, yeah.
all of the, let's say less than savory politicians are trying to legislate you out of existence. So, going to be raising money for Trans Lifeline and giving away just a metric ass ton of Steam games. I haven't quite worked out exactly how that's going to work just yet, but I need to form a war council and get all that ironed out. So if anybody, dorks, listeners, wants to help me iron out the fine details, join the Manapool Discord. The link is everywhere. And we will schedule something up because we're down to a month away now, and I've got to get the stuff sorted. So, yeah. And I found that if I sit down and try to think about things by myself, I get distracted. Or I get hung up on something insignificant. And I really need extra voices. So I'm calling it a war council because I want a bunch of people to be like, Chewy, get on track. And I'm like, yes, sorry. This is what we're doing. How do we do it? So, yeah. It'll probably be in the Manapool Discord. It'll be in the voice channel. Where, I'll get some number of people in at a time on voice, and we'll designate one of the chat channels, and yeah, we'll iron stuff out. Hopefully in the next week or so. So, yes. But, gonna try to crack our record for the last charity stream, which was like 5 years ago now. I'm very sorry. I don't remember what that is because I have not logged into it right now, and I can't remember the password, so I'm going to have to do the password recovery thing. But I think it was around like 1,500, maybe 17, something like that. So I'm going to hope to hit $2,000 this time. And give away, like I said, I've got hundreds. Almost, I don't remember if I'm just over 900 or just below 900, but right around 900 Steam games to give away that I have accrued over the last, since I started being on Steam.
Awesome.
Yeah. Like if Humble Monthly has like 1 or 2 games I want, then I'll, opt in for that month, get the 1 or 2 games, and then the rest I just have access to. I'm like, I don't know what to do with these.
Right.
So I'm not going to install, 8 games that I don't want or don't care about. So they just sit there. So I've collected them all into a giant spreadsheet. And as we hit milestones, I'll be revealing more and more and more of the spreadsheet. It's going to be sortable by, like, rough genre. So if you're like, oh, I like these kinds of games, then you can get to that. You can weed out the ones you don't like, or focus on the genres you do like, and then pick from there. So it's gonna be huge. It's gonna go all weekend. It might even go longer than that, depending on how many games are left. So this is the big one. I've been working on this for literal months at this point. So it's gonna be huge and awesome. Like I said, I've got dozens of achievements across dozens of games that I'm going to put into like a spinny wheel site and spin. And all right, we're going for, I don't know, this achievement in Cuphead. I don't know. I went for a bunch of achievements that would require effort, but wouldn't be like, 12-hour grinds. Nothing like that. I think the longest some of them would take would be like 2 or 3 hours. But some of them are also really complicated, and I've limited myself to like a couple of attempts. Like the Skullstorm achievement in Inscription that I've done entire streams trying to get. If I roll that, it'll be like 2 shots, and then we're done and go into something else. Hopefully I'll get a dork or 2 to come hang out for some amount of time during that. And, keep me company, keep me sane, help me read chat, that sort of thing. It's gonna be a big deal. I remember really digging and really enjoying the last 2 charity streams that I did years ago, and so gonna do it again. Yeah. But all right, I guess that was my final thought. So hey, don't forget, while we're talking about donating to charity, you can also help me out to do all of this nonsense that I do, with all of the streaming and the organizing charity streams and podcasts and whatnot. So hey, go to patreon.com/themanapool and, become a lifeguard. The mythic lifeguards, let's see here. no, not this tab. Here we go. Are Al, Kim Ho, Scuzzo, John Parker, Jake Jansons, Michael? Timu Hellas Haru, Jason Kaus, Casey, Jason Doan, ALK Alters, and Andrew Odie. Thank you all so very much for your support, and all of the lifeguards and all of the tiers, and everyone watching or listening or whatever. I appreciate you all. On the streaming side of things, Final Fantasy Fridays are continuing with Final Fantasy Renaissance, which is the NES version of Final Fantasy 1 with new classes and all kinds of new stuff. I've done one stream of it last Friday, and I loved it. So I'll be doing another one every Friday until I'm done. And then I might do a different run with other new classes. Like a Blue Mage Trainer Bard. Insert fourth class. Blue Mage Trainer Bard. Oh, Dark Knight. I think that will be my second run. Maybe. I haven't decided yet. And I started a new game called Rogue Book, which is like Slay the Spire. But it's an evolution of Slay the Spire. Like they took what Slay the Spire built and then iterated on it, which is how you get new video games and new ideas. And I've done 2 streams of it, one of which accidentally went for 5 hours because it's a lot of fun. And I'm also playing Doom Eternal, which is also a lot of fun in an entirely different way. Guys, I die so many times in Doom Eternal. I have yet to get frustrated.
Nice.
Because every time I die, I'm like, oh, I could have done that. And, I mean, it sounds like I'm getting frustrated because, there's swearing and, oh, come on. But it's not like the kind of frustrated where I'm getting mad at it. It's like, oh, damn, all right, let's do it again. I can do it this time, I got it. And then I die. And I'm like, all right, do it again. It is so much fun. So, those are the things I'm streaming. I'm gonna start up Final Fantasy IV, not on Fridays, just as another game I'm playing. Soon, I don't know if I'm gonna wait till after I finish Doom Eternal or if I'm just gonna add it into the rotation. I haven't decided yet. But, so yeah, if any of that sounds like fun to you, come hang out, twitch.tv/themanapool. I stream several nights a week. Yeah. But all right, with that, we are going to be done with episode 697 of The Mana Pool. Thank you all so very much for joining us. And don't blow up Megaton. Or do.